Hi guys, so in this video I'm gonna be talking about how I multitask, being a parent, being a student, and being a single mother raising a daughter, and how you can multitask um, as well. So I'm gonna leave the part about pregnancy so I can make the video as short as I can and go straight to the point. So when I had my daughter, actually, before my daughter, was working quite a lot. Yeah, I was working quite a lot because I had a lot of bills to pay. I was working quite a lot. I remember even I had work the last minute booked before I had to call when I was in hospital and cancel. When I had my daughter, it was really good. I had my friends, my family coming in. My friends used to come, used to pray. You know, I had my daughter like today, and the next day I left the hospital because everything went so well. I was so grateful. It's not easy to give birth. It's a matter of life or death, you know. Anyway, so when I had my daughter, I was alone throughout the pregnancy and everything. I was alone because the person I was in a relationship with, on a long distance relationship with, was in a different country, and I was in a different country. He was supposed to join me, but unfortunately things didn't work out. I quit. Anyway, so throughout this pregnancy I went through it alone, but I didn't really care about, oh, you know, I'm gonna go through it alone, this and this. No, because I'm strong. I've gone through life. I've struggled in my life. I've struggled. The struggle I've gone through in life, there's can be compared. So I was like, you know, I don't care about if I'm gonna do this alone and that. There are a lot of people out there who would think, oh, how are you gonna manage it? You're not gonna be able to do this. You won't do this. Da, 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 da. I proved them all wrong, because they won't give you help. They just wanna sit down and think about, oh, you're not gonna be able to do it. Then, you know, and all that stuff. Well, I proved them all wrong, because a lot of them who, a lot of people will act like they know you and all that stuff, but they actually don't even know you. They know you from few words they've heard, but they don't even know you as a person. So I was like, I'll do this. There's nothing I haven't done, so I'm gonna do this. Us growing up, we're being told, you know, you have to do things yourself. You're doing this every time. If you don't do things yourself, no one is gonna do it for you. So I knew I was gonna do it. When I had my daughter, it was really hard, because finding a childcare in these countries is really hard. Everyone is constantly busy. People are busy, people are working, doing this. No one has the time. And if you have someone to look after your child, it's expensive. Go to day nursery is expensive compared to Africa, where you can easily pay somebody a bit of money, or you can easily have a family member to give you a hand. Everyone is easily available. People are easily available. Here it was different. When my daughter was young, I had to take her everywhere. Before the child is born, it's easier, but once the child is born, it's hard. I was alone. I was single. I was a student. I was a student, but then I took a gap. Yeah, I took a gap. Now, once you have a child, you have to take a child everywhere. So you have to think about how you're gonna do all these things. Before I do something, before I wake up, I plan them all. I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna get this done. so So my house was empty. I tried to get everything, buy everything there, put this, put this, put that, put there, you know. And then I was on maternity leave. It was like it's normally 9 months, yeah, but I stayed for almost 8 months. I wanted to go back to work, so sometimes I'll take my child to family if they're free, because they're also working. And sometimes I'll take to, I had work colleagues whom I knew, who were really nice. Yeah, sometimes I'll take the child there. So it was really good, because I had a lot of people around who were living close to me that I knew that I could easily take my child to. If you have those kind of people around you, you can always use that as an opportunity, but you have to make sure you're taking your child to somebody you know, somebody you trust, because anybody can be your enemy. Even your own family can be your own enemy. You might be thinking, okay, this is my family, they're gonna be good to my child. No, you have to be sure they're gonna be good to your child, because anybody can be your enemy. Even your own blood can be your enemy. We see it every time it happens. Everyone can be your own enemy. So you just don't leave your child with anybody, because, you know. So when I was leaving my child, I make sure I leave my child with somebody I know that they're going to look after my child well. And I'm not going to be away working and my child is being neglected. So I had a lot of people I was working with that I knew that had children that had kids, and they were really good people. And so I will feel confident to leave my child with them, and they were willing to help. And if I felt had some money, I'll pay. So to start with, there was one of my work colleagues. She's from Nigeria. She's a really nice lady. I used to take my child to her since my child was little, since she was a few months old. If my family are busy, I used to take her there, but most of the time she used to go there. And if she's off, she'll look after her. It was really helpful. That was during my towards the end of my maternity, when my maternity actually finished. Before my maternity finished, I was obviously in the house, so it was actually easy, but I got so bored because I wasn't used to just staying at home like that, because before I was used to working, you know, at least working, you know. So, but then I had to think about, okay, now she's growing up, at least I can leave her, let me go to work. I started working mostly on weekends, you know. And I used to take my child to different people, man. Sometimes this person will be available, sometimes this person won't be available. But the thing about my daughter, she's really nice. She's really nice. She's not like a crying baby. She's not a running around baby who doesn't like people. You know, there's some children who are very difficult. Some of them probably cry more often. There's some of them who want to accept to stay with other people they don't know. But for me, no, she didn't mind. I'll just leave her with whoever felt comfortable leaving her with, and she wouldn't mind. She will just play. She'll be good. So I remember before I could take her to nursery, there's this lady I knew whom I was working with. She was from Nigeria again. And she said to me, oh, there's a lady I know who used to look after my kids, and she lives just around the roundabout where you live. I mean, close to where you live. Let me give you a number. You can contact her, speak to her. She has kids as well. And if she's free, she can look after your child. So I was really happy. So I contacted this lady, and she was really nice. And she said, yeah, you know. And I was paying just like a little portion of money. Yeah, I wasn't paying much compared to when you go nursery. If people will charge you, they'll charge you like £80, £100. Nursery is even expensive, because nursery is like 70-something pound for a day. Yeah, 70-something pound for a day. And she was like, so I was paying her like less than £30. That is good. Yeah, she was charging me. She said, I'll just charge you £30. Yeah, £30. And during the night I used to pay, but the money went down to maybe £20. During the night I used to pay just £15. So that was good for me, you know, at least, because I had to spend transport going to work and all that stuff. So that was good for me. So she was looking after my daughter most of the time. I used to take my daughter there. Then I'll be able to go to work. And then I had to start going, reapplying so I can go back to uni, so I can finish my course. So I went back to uni. So now I was studying. My daughter I actually went back to uni when she was, I think, over 1 year old. Less than 2 years, but over 1 year old. And I started studying uni. I went back to study. My friend was like, you know what, you need to go back and finish. It's better. And I was like, oh, Lord, my brain is not working. I can't go back now. But then I was like, right, let me just go. Let me go. So I went back to uni, because the university were like, you have to come back. If you don't come back now, it'll be impossible. Because everyone has, you know, there's certain gap that you have for uni. So I said, okay, let me go back. So now I'm going back to uni. And but then also there was a nursery, and before I could find nursery, it took forever to find a nursery. It was really hard to find a nursery. Yeah, it was really hard. Every nursery I was trying to get, they were telling me to pay upfront payment, a lot of money. And I was like, I'm not even gonna get that money back. It's a lot of money. Yeah. Then I kept looking, and then there's some that even if you find were cheaper, there was no space. There was one that would be near me, but was cheaper, was a bit near me, not too close, but it was full. And guess what? They told me they let me know, and then they called me back after 2 years to tell me that this place is now available. I'm like, now it's after 2 years. I don't really need that. But luckily, there's another nursery that was just actually 5 minutes away from me by a cab, and I can also walk there if I want to. You know, by a car, it's just like 5 minutes. Though this nursery was more expensive, but I had no choice. That was the only nursery I could find, which was good, but the only one that had space, and the only one that it had space. It was near me, you know, even though it was more expensive. But yeah, so I used to take her there sometimes. But nursery was really hard because sometimes I have to come back at 6 to pick her up, and my university was all the way to Brentford, all the way there. So sometimes the lecturer goes on until late, and then I have to rush back and to pick her up. It was a bit stressful. So sometimes I'll take her to the lady, sometimes I'll take her to the nursery. Yeah, sometimes I take her to the nursery, and then I get the lady and ask, okay, can you pick her up? You know, if she's free, she can say, okay, I'll pick her up. I take her to the nursery so she can have the nursery time, play around, meet other children and other stuff. But one thing that was frustrating with me with the nursery is that she wasn't eating that much, because the food they're offering the nursery for the children is, it's just plain tasteless food. So I was like, you know, no point of me bringing her here if she's gonna stay all day and she's not eating. I said, if she's not eating, offer her some toast, because she likes some toast with peanut butter. Offer even some cereals, some porridge, some cornflakes, some Weetabix. She likes that, because she can stay all day without eating. They have to give her an alternative. Anyway, so this lady, she had 2 kids, and she was really helpful. Sometimes I'll take my daughter to her, she'll stay there. But sometimes it was a problem. If she wants to go somewhere, she'll be calling me, say, where are you? Come, I need to go somewhere. But it was helpful. If I want to go out, I didn't have problem. I'll take her there and she'll stay with her as long as I'm paying her. When I take her to nursery, I didn't have to pack her food. Just take her. All I need to do is pack changing clothes. When I take her to the lady, obviously I have to pack everything, clothes, food, and everything, and so on. And so it was easier for me. I know how people struggle. Sometimes they want to go out, they want to go to work, they have no one to leave their child with. I had a lot of help. I had friends. Sometimes I'll have my friend come over, stay over in my house, or I'll take her to my friend's house. Sometimes I had my friend's mom staying with her during the night. I had a lot of help. Sometimes I'll take her to my family. I'll leave her, she sleeps over, or during the day I'll take her there. I had a lot of work colleagues who lived around. Yeah, I'll take her there, man, but it was stressful. The lady used to look after her. Sometimes she'll be in different houses because she's looking after other people's kids. Sometimes she'll be another house this side, sometimes she'll be another house this side. So sometimes I have to go to this side or go that side, and every time my direction changes, and it was so annoying. And then by the time I come back, she's moved, she's in a different place again. Come pick her up this way. Wow, it was stressful. It's either way in the morning I wake up, I'm running, drop her to nursery, then I'm running to work, finish work, I'm running back to pick her up, then come home. Nursery, if you go late, they charge you extra money. 10 minutes late is £10. 20 minutes late is £20. And it goes on like that. If you're lucky, they won't say give us money. But most of the time, if you're late, they can stay with their child until 7, but you have to pay for that lateness money, which you need to give them in cash. So me being alone, it really just, it wasn't like even it was hard for me. Many people keep telling me, asking me, oh, how are you managing it? How did you manage it? You did really well. Yes, I know I did really well, but you just have to put your heart into it. It just depends on you. You know, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. You just have to put your heart to it and do it, because you know that it's you. The task is yours. You have to do it. Who else is going to do it? You just have to put your mind in it. You have to put yourself in it. Get up and do it. So I didn't really be like, okay, I'm alone. What am I going to do? There are times that was really hard. It was really stressful. Sometimes I'll be rushing to go to work. You haven't eaten. I'm trying to feed her. I'm trying to eat. she's not eating. I have no time. I can't drop her without feeding her because, and sometimes you're like, oh my God, I just want to cancel myself, cancel work. It's so stressful, you know. Most of the time when I was going to uni, I used to run late, especially for first lessons. I used to run late. Everyone who knows, you know, I used to run late. But sometimes if you have 3 lecturers, I'll run late for the first one. I'll be there. If it's 3 hours, if it's 1 hour, I'm terrible. I'm late and I'm missing. But I'm going to catch up. If it's 3 hours, okay, I'm late, but I know I can go in and catch up with the 2 hours or 1 hour. It's better later than never. But you know, the uni, they put something like, oh, if you're late, you have to swipe in. And if you don't swipe in within 5 minutes, whatever. I think they just made it up to stress people. But the thing about me, even if I was going in late sometimes, but most of the time, I made sure that I do my assignment. I made sure I do my assignment, go through whatever I didn't do, and do the assignment period. Because if you don't do the assignment, you don't know doing the exams, then that's a problem. But also attending isn't good. Obviously, I used to be late. I used to miss sometimes because sometimes I just didn't feel like it. Sometimes you have to go all the way, travel for 2 hours for one lecturer. So I'm like, I might as well just stay home or do something else. What's the point? But I know there are a lot of parents who are in uni, who are even students, and it's really hard. And it's not just you, it's not just one person. There are a lot of people, and it's hard, and it's really hard. Even when it's 2 of you, it's not easy. It's so hard. People think that, okay, so I have a boyfriend, so I have a husband, it's gonna be easy. It's not easy. It's not easy, because I remember when my parents were here, they said how hard it was. They had to get somebody to help them because it was really hard. Because you both need to work, especially if you're not used to working at night. How are both of you gonna work during the day and then look after the child? Yeah, someone has to stay home, someone has to go to work. But you also don't want to stay at home. You also want to be at work because everybody wants to make money and everyone wants to be independent. And even if it's 2 of you, someone has to work at night. When the other person is working at night, you are staying home during the day. You're looking after the child. When the other person comes back home in the morning, they want to sleep. But also they have to look after the child. And you have to go and work. So it's really hard because when you come, it's really hard to balance it. It's hard. I've seen people struggling when there are 2 of them. It's really, really hard. You know, sometimes people don't get sleep because when you get home, your husband, for example, is going to work during the day. You worked at night. You're supposed to be sleeping, but you're not going to sleep because you have to take the kids to school. You have to take kids out. You have to do this and do that and do that. You know, when you're supposed to be sleeping. I think it'd only be easier if it's 3 of you. 3 of you means at least you have someone who helps, whose their job is to help look after the child. So which means you can easily just go to work and come back home and you can sleep without worrying that, okay, I have to look after the child. It's really hard. But if you have help, use the help. And the best thing is always to just make sure you do and work hard. You know, remember you're doing it for your child and work hard. So as for me, when I reached a point, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna give up the uni. You know, it was so stressful with the assignment because I took a gap. Now I had the chance to finish. I was being told, you need to finish, you need to pass all this. I'm being given 8 assignments. I'm being told I have 8 exams, assignments, I don't know how many, and I need to pass all these exams. I used to stay up until 7 revising. I used to stay up, and most of the time I used to sit up at night doing my assignment until morning because during the day it's hard. I wait for her to go to bed, then that's when I sit down and do my assignment. I used to sit down revising until morning. I was like, I have to pass. And luckily God was on my side. I passed. I was really, really happy because I was like, I have to pass because I was told this is the last chance. I have to pass. I had no other choice. And I had so much assignment and I was getting stressed. If you have somebody to help you do the work, use that opportunity. Somebody who understands, because me, it's the point I was so stressed. I was stressed. Like, you have one assignment due on 5th, you have the other one due on 4th, you have the other one due on 16th, you have another one due on 2nd of what? You have all these 3, and you have exam to revise for. So, oh man, it was hard. I never even used to watch my TV. This thing, YouTube, I was not even watching YouTube. I was not even watching YouTube. Like, I just started watching YouTube when I finished uni. I wasn't watching even YouTube now. I was barely, you know, I used to just listen to my music uploaded on the phone, because every time I watching something on TV, I'll feel guilty because I'm like, I have something to do. The only time I felt like I could feel relaxed is when I finished uni completely. And that was the only time, because you just feel guilty. I have assignment. Oh God, I have this exam coming up. Oh dear, I have this supposed to be done. I have group work. So it was just like, you have to multitask. You have to multitask. And if you have help, as I said, if you have someone who can help you do the assignment, someone who understands. Because as for me, there's a time I know there are a lot of people. Well, there's some I know. They might say the past, but there was somebody doing the assignment, got their work getting done for them. I personally did my own work myself. I tried to get help because the time I was so desperate and I was so stressed, and I didn't want to miss the deadline, because when you miss the deadline, you're failing. And I tried to get help online. You know, there are like this online things you can chat and get someone to help you with the assignment. Oh my God, those things stressed me. I said never ever. I tried once, twice. I was so disappointed. I even tried my friends from back home. A lot of people used to get their work done in the pay. I tried 3 times actually. 3 times. I tried even people back home. I had my friend in boarding school who was really, really smart, and I thought she could help me with this assignment because I have so much work to do. Maybe if she helped me go through this work and catch up, then I can catch up, you know. Girl, I sent the work to the girl and I said, okay, what you need to do is you need to rewrite it. Oof. She didn't do nothing. She sent back the same work to me. Man, I was so fucking stressed. Because when you give them the work to do, you basically have to pay them. And she was pressuring me, telling me to pay her. Man, that work, that thing to do with assignment actually destroyed our friendship. And I've never been able to speak to her again. You know, because I was like, I paid the money for it, got the computer. I paid everything. I paid the money. And you didn't even do the work. You just actually sent me back the exact thing that I gave you. So people get really, when you're in university and, you know, you are a parent, many people are. And sometimes you don't have time to study because you also want to work. It becomes very stressful to catch up. I try to use online things where you communicate with people you don't even know. Try to help you do the assignment. I tried 3 times. Once I tried, I was so disappointed. What I sent to get done, I was sent up absolutely something out of the topic. I was so frustrated. The good thing is I got my money back, and I said never ever, because when you try to use these people, they'll claim they understand what you actually want. They'll claim they have professional people who can help you pass your work. They'll claim they're going to help you get the assignment right. Hey, but they just want your money. Once you pay, I'm telling you guys, if you use this, do this. Once you pay, I remember one time paying, I got this, I paid. Assignment is 1,500 or 1,000, and I've just paid £60, and tomorrow assignment is already finished. What? It's finished already? It was completely a different topic. These people said we have the highest qualified people, blah blah blah, who can write, blah blah blah. Oh my God. I was like, this is not what I expected. Actually, I was so mad. I demanded them to give me my money back. They gave my money back, and that was it. That was it. I blocked them. I was like, you know, that's it. So I went through a lot with that. But what at last minute, you know, I was like, no, I'm not doing this no more. It's so frustrating. There are even people in uni who have leaflets they're giving out about help with assignment. They say if you need help with assignment, they help you, everything. But you have to pay. And really expensive, £200, £300 for them to write you an upside down assignment. I never paid. I said that's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm glad I never did. So you know what, I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated, extreme frustrated. And I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna, even no matter what it takes, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write it the way I know it myself. I'm gonna sit down and do it. I'm not gonna use all this help anymore. No, because people will act like they understand, but they don't even understand what you're supposed to write. So I sat down and I put my head into it, and I did it, and I did it, and it was done, because I was like, this is what I have to do. And I did it, and it was done, because this is what I understand. I'm the one who understands it. I need to do it, and I understand it. And I did it, and I did it, and that's how I did it. So towards the end, the third year is very stressful, you know, and still I'm going to uni, taking my child to nursery, man, drop her off, quick, run to uni, blah, 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 come back, you know. I used to work maybe twice a week or whatever, because it was really hard now to work as often. And, you know, as the time went by, I did everything and I finished uni. Yeah, it was really good. I used the means of nursery and all my other colleagues who are work colleagues who are willing to look after my child. Sometimes I'll take her to nursery and I'll pay the lady and I say pick her up, and she'll go pick up from nursery. Sometimes I'll take her to house and I'll go to uni if my lecture is starting early, and sometimes she's supposed to go to nursery 1 o'clock. Then I'll take her there. Then I say, okay, you drop her off at 1. Then she'll drop her off. So towards the end, I finished uni, and I was really happy when I finished. I felt so good. I felt like finally I can breathe. Finally I can watch TV freely without worrying I could do, you know, because I used to get so distracted. Sometimes, most of the time, I just found it really hard to sit down and do the work, like settle it. But once I sit down to start doing it, I don't want to get up. I just want to continue doing it. But just to sit down and do it was really hard, and especially during the day. During the day, I never did work. I prefer to do my work at night, because that's when I have a peace. If she's running around, jumping around, it's hard for me to do the work. So, alright guys, I'm back. My daughter woke up. Anyway, so forgotten where I was. so what I was saying, like, it was really hard for me. I remember there's a times that I even had to take, there's one time I took my child to Didcot, for my friend's house who lives in Didcot. I took her there, and then I took it there, then I picked her up. I picked her up, say next day or after 2 days. Yeah, I picked her up, because I had no one to live with. Yeah, everyone's busy. Because I have a lot of friends who live nearby. I have a lot of colleagues, but there are some friends who have never had to take it to, because they're always saying, I'm busy, I'm working, I'm going out, I'm working. There's a time I remember, man, when I decided to go back to work, when she was 8 months. I didn't have anyone, so I remember it was a freezing winter, and I had to take her to South Hall. From where I live to South Hall, it's like far. It's far. If you take a cab, it's £30. Yeah, it's far away. Yeah, I'll say it's like 30-40 minutes drive, 40 minutes to drive, I think. I don't know, almost an hour drive. No, sorry, it's not South Hall, actually. Not South Hall. South Hall is actually not even, it's far, but not South Hall. It's actually Hounslow. Yeah, she used to live in Hounslow, and she just had a baby, and she was home, and she said, you know, you can bring her and look after her, because I had to go to uni. I couldn't miss. I wanted to go to uni, and because if I don't attend, it's a problem. And she wasn't going to nursery, you know, during that time, and I had to travel all the way to Hounslow, take her there. Hounslow is really far. I had to take her all the way to Hounslow, Sometimes I'll take her to Hanslow, then I'll go to uni on my way. From there, I'll leave uni, come back to Hanslow, pick her up, then be on our way back. By the time I arrive here back home, it's at night. Oh man, and it was freezing winter. Sometimes, man, it was bad. I remember there are times I had to go before I go back to work. I had to do training, and this training was like 1 week training, and you had to attend from Monday to Friday. So I had nowhere to take her. So I had to take her to Hanslow. I used to take her all the way to Hanslow, come back to where I live, go for training. When I finish training, go all the way to Hanslow, pick her up, and come back again to my house. It was stressful. Next day again, then wake up again, drop her off to Hanslow, come back and go for training. And this training was stressful. We had to start from morning and finish in the evening. And when we finish, we have a lot of assignment to do before next day. Oh my God, that work was stressful. That was the most stressful work I've ever done. The paperwork, I actually didn't even stay there for like 6 months. I left because while everyone was leaving, I also left. The training, like I had so much uni assignment, and here is work training. I'm being told I have to do training every other time. Training. I'm like, I have classes, I have assignment. This is like another assignment. You do training today, next day you hear there's another training, and there's so much paperwork to do. And the money they're paying, I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm gone. And going out, I wasn't going out that much, because of uni and all that stuff. But if I wanted to go out sometimes at night, it's easier to leave out. And though when I had my daughter, I had family help. I had my parents help come here, help me. My sister came here, she helped me with cooking. I had shopping done for me. My dad was really helpful. Oh man, my dad used to take me around everywhere. He used to pick me up, drop me. Before I had the baby and when I had the baby, he used to take me everywhere. Whenever I wanted to go, he used to take me appointment, pick me, drop me. Whenever I needed something for the house, he'd take me there, get it, bring it, somebody, get it done. So I was really lucky because my family lived nearby. I was really lucky. It's just God's miracle. I had everyone living nearby, so it was really good for me. So if you have someone living nearby, and it's always good to live nearby family, live close to family or whatever. If you go move far away and you live far away alone somewhere, you got no help. So that was an advantage for me. And so it was really good. And then towards the end, I finished uni, and I was really, really happy when I finished uni. I could say finally filled. The nursery was going well. She was now getting used to it. And the more she was growing, the more I was able to easily leave her, and I could say, okay, leave her for the whole day at least, and I could go work or go do whatever I want to do. And as the time went by, I had to bring someone from back home to come and help me here. So another thing you can always do is bring someone from back home. If you can, you get someone from back home. Most of the time, it's easier to bring the elderly. Like if you have your grandparents or your in-laws who are old, it's easier. The older they are, the easier it is for them to get a visa. Now to get the visa is so hard. They've changed the rules. It's gone so crazily tight. So it was easier for her to bring someone from home. I managed to get my mother-in-law. It was really easy because she was old, and well, she was not that old, but she has family. She had a husband. She had children, so they knew she had something to come back to. She had business she was doing, and even though she didn't have like a bank account, she didn't have like an income, like working like that. She did that. She was doing a small businesses. We were able to collect different bank details, put them together, and say that we were going to support her and she was going to stay with me. So she easily got a visa straight away, and she came. Supposed to stay for 6 months, and that was really good when she came. At least I feel like at least I don't have to wake up running around taking my child here and there, dropping her off, dropping her here, picking her up and all that stuff. I can live at home and go to work. when I come back, you know. But though she didn't stay for 6 months, she didn't like it here. She was complaining how she didn't like it. It was boring, it was lonely. I don't blame her. That's what it is. It's boring, it's lonely. That's what it is. And yeah, she was getting homesick. She didn't like it. Like some people who come and overstay and they don't want to go back, they don't know what they're missing. But I don't blame her, because that's how I felt when I first came here. I was feeling lonely, I was feeling bored, I was feeling sad. So she was feeling lonely because I used to go to work and she will stay with the child. And yeah, and she started getting homesick, getting heart attack. I was alone with the child. I didn't know what to do. I had to call ambulance, rushing her to hospital. She wanted to go back. I'm just getting back to work. I don't have money to change the ticket, get her back home. And I was getting stressed, you know. I'm like, okay. So now I had to look for the money to buy do the visa, buy the flight ticket, do everything and bring her here. But as soon as she lands here, she wants to go back. Now I have to process again everything and, you know, get up things to go back, because no one is gonna pay. It's me who has to pay. So yeah, it was really stressful. And then once she goes back, then I'm back again to this thing. But anyway, she stayed for, I think it was just 2 months. I don't know, 2 months. And then she went back. You know, she went back. And even when she went back, I was happy because at least I had my space back. I'm used to having my space, because the fact she was complaining she didn't like it here, it was making it hard for me as well to be free, because, well, yeah, it was just a bit difficult. You know, when you have to deal with in-laws, man, it's not easy. It was a bit difficult. So I was like, finally, I got back my house. Freedom, you know, freedom. So because I had a 1-bedroom flat, man, she was staying in the living room, so I didn't feel like the living room was a living room anymore, you know, and all that stuff. But she helped me during that time. Then she left. I didn't blame her. I was happy for her to go back, because she had children as well, and her husband back home as well, and she had a lot of stuff she was doing herself. But yeah, but then she was growing, so it was easy again. Went back to living at a nursery, and the lady was looking after her. She had 2 kids. Then she had she had 1 child. She had two kids, a little one and a bit one was less than 10 years, and then a little one. Then she had another kid, so she had 3. So she couldn't look after her because she had 3 children now, 2 little ones and the other one. So I had to contact the other work colleague of mine again, who used to look after her before. I said to her, you know, and she said, oh yeah, I can look after her. And then the good thing that happened to me, she used to live down towards the town center, but then she moved near me. So now she was living just near me, like near me, that I can just walk there 5 minutes away from me. So it was really easy, and it was really good for me. And so when she's there during the days, if she's not even there, she say, oh, there's someone in the house, my husband. I don't leave my child with anyone. If she's not there, I can't live with it. I can't leave the child with her kids. She has children. She has sons. They're really nice boys. But I'd rather leave my child with adult. I prefer to leave my child with adult, permanently adult. So, because it's the best way to do, because she's also a child. So if you leave a child with a child, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So I prefer to leave my child with an adult. So if she's not there, I know the husband. I've known them for decades. They are very good people. So if she's not there, sometimes she say, oh, my husband is home. He doesn't mind. So I leave the child. I leave her there. And I know the husband. They are very good people. I trust him, and I know she's in good hands. But most of the time, she's always home. At night, she's there. If I want to go out, I take her there. So it was really easy for me. I didn't have a problem when I want to go out. I didn't have a problem when I had to go to work. But what I had to do, if you're in this situation, what you can do is work flexible. What I've always done for most of my life is I've always worked flexible. I don't do permanent, like I'm being put on a rota and I'm working Monday to Friday. I can't do that. Because when you have a child, especially when you're alone, It's hard because you don't know when you're going to be able to have a childcare. I don't know when I'm going to be able to have someone to look after her. The lady also works, so me working depends on her. If she's free, I take her there. If she's off, she's not working, I take her there. So before I can accept the work I'm being offered or I'm being asked to do, I first of all communicate with her and find out. I'll communicate with anyone who's staying with my child or anyone who I'm going to live with my child with. I'll communicate with them and find out they're going to be free. They're going to be home during this time and this time. They are happy to stay with them. That's when I take the work, because I don't like to disappoint work, cancelling and all that stuff. So it's always good. So I work. If she's free certain days, I can work. Most of the time at night, she's home. So I can work if I want at night. But I don't like to do some night a lot because it just messes with your brain. It messes with your soul. It messes with everything. It messes with your skin as well. And when I work at night, because you're alone again, when you work at night or when you have kids, when you work at night, if you have kids, it's hard to sleep during the day. Because me, when I work at night, during the day, we sleep when we get home. We sleep until a certain time. Once we have lunch, she doesn't sleep. She's playing around. She's jumping. It's hard for me to sleep. It's either way, wake up, mommy, wake up. So it's hard to sleep, yeah. But also I have to wake up and change a nappy, put a toilet, give her a tea time drink, feed her, do this, do that, do that. So I'm not getting my proper sleep. So I don't like to work overly. I like to work and take a break and all that. Work certain days, take a break certain days. That's how I like to do it. So if you're in this situation, the best way to do is work with a gap. You might work Monday night, take a gap Tuesday, work Wednesday night. That's how I like to do it. Or work Monday night, take a gap Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, work again Thursday. That's how I like to do it. Otherwise, your brain, your eyes gonna swell. I've been in that situation, and it's gonna be stressful. Or during the day, But when I do at night, when you work at night, when you have a child, it's a bit more easier because I don't have to worry about packing a stuff, packing a food. If I have to go during the day, I have to worry about that. But it could even be easier to work during the day. So it's all about so being like, even if you're alone or if you're two of you, it doesn't become easy. As long as you have kids, it's hard. All you gotta do is work hard. All you have to do is know that that task is yours. You created it. You have to do with it. It's yours. You created it. You have to do it with it. Because when you have children in this country, it's very stressful. Childcare is very expensive. Life is very stressful. Everything is expensive. Everywhere you go, you have to carry your child with you, and it's very stressful. Really, really stressful. But what you have to make sure you're doing is you're doing your best. Do your best because you're doing it for your child. Do your best. Do your best. Whatever you gotta do, do your best. Many people still ask me even until now, how did you do when I go to work? How did you do How did you do it? Oh, you really did well and all that. It's not easy, but you have to do it. And a lot of people will never believe that I'm gonna do it. And because they could have never done it, so they think that because they could have never done it, I could never do it. But I did it. It's me. That's them. Two different people, So you just have to do it. Whether you are alone, whether it's two of you, do it. Let no one tell you that, oh, you are alone, you can't do this. Fuck that bullshit. What makes you think that if it's two of you, it's gonna be easier? What makes you think that if it's two of you, you can do it? How many people find it hard to cope when there are two of them? How many people find it so hard to cope when there are two of them? A lot of people. A lot of people find it hard to be parents even when there are two of them. Yeah, you find it really hard. Doesn't mean let no one tell you that you're one person, it's going to be hard. Let no one tell you that it's going to be hard. You can do it. Let no one tell you. I have friends who have raised their children on their own. I have friends and they have done it on their own. On their own. A lot of people I know who have not been able to raise their children as two parents, they haven't been able to do it. They haven't been able to do it. Being two doesn't mean that you can make it perfectly. doesn't mean to. It just depends on you as a person. Even if it's 10 of you, you might not even be able to do it. It depends on you as a person. Because I have this friend of mine who was telling me, oh, because you're alone. Oh, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. Excuse me. What makes you think that I can't do this? I can't do this. What makes you think you can do it? And what makes you think that I can't do it? I've done this all along myself. What makes you think that I can't do it? And what makes you think that you can do it? Just because you have a boyfriend in the house, someone you call a boyfriend or whatever, doesn't mean that everything is possible for you. And the person who doesn't have a boyfriend means everything is not possible for them, you know? And or doesn't have a mind kind of type thing. You know, because most people believe that, oh, if I have a child, I must have a man. And when I have a man, things are going to be easy. So it makes people want to have a man in the house every time. They feel like I have to have a man to make things easier for me. I have to have a woman to make things easier for me. But most of the time, it's women who feel like they must have a man to make things easier for them. You can do it yourself. It makes you want to stay there because you want to have a man to make it easier for you. You don't want to be alone. You're scared to be alone. You're scared to be left alone because you want to have a man to make it easier for you. It doesn't come that easier. You have to be ready to be alone because in this, when you're in this kind of stuff, you never know. That man of yours might be here today. Tomorrow he might not be there. What are you going to do? You got to learn to be able to do it yourself, whether he's there or he's not there. He gotta learn to do it himself, whether she's there or she's not there. You know, everyone gotta learn to do it, because if you rely on somebody, if you rely just because you have a man, it can be very, very, very hard, and that proved a lot of people wrong. There are a lot of stuff people who are single do, who are not in a relationship. You know, and I don't get in relationship because I want help from somebody. I don't get in relationship because I want a man to help me, or I want a man to do this. I've met quite a number of guys who are like, oh, you know, I want to help you. I want to help you do this. And I'm like, no. I do this myself. I've been doing it myself. I don't need help from nobody. You know, I don't need help from nobody. Don't need help. So you just have to be you. You have to be you and be strong and do things, knowing that the situation you're on is never permanent, you know, because we never know in this world. What if he's not there? What if she's not there? You gotta do things in a way that you have to do things in a way that you know you can always stay even if that person is not there. You just don't do it in a way that, okay, I'm doing it knowing that he's there, but what if he's not there? So you have to do it with all your heart, so that if that person is not there, you don't have to struggle. Just the same way, we most of the time you find like a man doesn't want to go to the kitchen and cook because they believe that a woman is the one who should be in the kitchen cooking. But what if that woman is not there? What are you gonna do? You're gonna be ordering takeaway every day and eating frozen food because you expect her to be the one cooking? What if she's not there? What if she's not well? And you have the children with you. What are you going to do? When are you going to go to the kitchen, clean the dishes, cook, do all the stuff she does, clean the house, do the laundry? When are you going to help? When are you going to do that? So that when she's not there, you find it easier to do this task. But if you sit down saying, oh, she's the one supposed to do this, when she's not there, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer. So play your part, play the man's part and play your part as well and all that stuff. You help each other, but also play the part. Share everything. I like to share the work rather than putting all the work on one person because you divide this person, do this. I like to share the work. It makes it easier like that if you can. But again, I'm quite strong in doing it myself. I don't have a problem doing it myself. I've done it myself for a very long time. So yeah, anyway guys, I don't know if I'm forgetting anything. One thing, let me just not forget this. Another thing I remember is when I had my daughter, yeah, I had to travel. We had to travel to Africa. Man, it was hard. People, I don't remember many people doing this. Even the people who had like two of them who are acting to be perfect, two of them, the perfect two, could never even do it. I traveled with my daughter when she was just 4 months old. We went with her to Africa. It was hard. It was hard because she was small still and she was crying. And it was me alone with the bags and her. And then we went back again when she was like, I think, 1 year. Man, it was stressful. But again, as I said, do it like it's you alone. Don't do it like there's someone else. Because a lot of people who are even two of them, they can't even do most of the things that people who are alone do. They cannot do.